Hi there smartphone fans, welcome back to Smartphone Wars, and today we'll be talking about a subject that really concerns most of you, and this is battery life. How to get the left picture and the right picture as slow as possible, or how to get the most battery life out of any Android phone out there in just a few easy steps. If you like your tin Android device and you want to get the best battery life out of it without having to resort to buying those bulky, heavy 10,000 mAh battery monsters like the K10000 Max and K10000 Pro, well, I have the solution for you here today, and I'll show you how to get more battery life without making almost any compromises. First of all, every phone out there in the battery settings has a power saving mode, which I know most of you really don't like to use unless you're going below 10%, and some even have a lower screen resolution, which for me is also not an option. And I've found out in my really long usage out of all these phones I reviewed that lowering the screen resolution really doesn't give you that much extra battery life unless you're doing more gaming. But what do we usually do most of the time? Social medias, web browsing and watching videos. So I'll show you how to save battery life out of those. First of all, what you need to do is, I know you have lots of those system apps, even some of those at Google, which you really don't use, and by default they are running in the background and consuming battery life. So what you do first is find out all these apps like Google Allo, Duo or whatever you're not using and disable them from the app setting. This will enable those apps to not preload, not start with your Android, and this not consume any background data and background power. I really wish more manufacturers would put that 4G on and off switch in their settings. And I know some of you really use NFC and some of you don't, and this is open by default, so definitely turn that off, it will not harm your phone. You can also turn off the auto rotate, but this will not save you lots of battery life, and of course the auto brightness setting as well doesn't save you lots of battery life too. What really drains the battery actually is the always on 4G data and location mode, which is the GPS. And if you're not using GPS like for navigation all the time, I really do suggest you take it off of that settings feed. And even if you want to prefer to keep it on, there is another way to save battery life. A lot of those social apps and shopping apps you have on your phone, and almost any app or games, really want to access of your location because they want to know where you are, but they actually don't need it. So my suggestion is this: go into every game, every social app you have in there, every shopping app, and disable the location permission if you've already given it to the app itself. But since you might have already guessed, one of the biggest battery drains are the social apps, and especially very heavy newsfeed social apps with video like Facebook. Facebook is an enormous battery hog, and you can battle that with a few easy steps. Now go into your Facebook settings, and first of all go to the notification settings. Now Facebook by default will push like almost anything to your phone, wake up your screen, and this draws a lot of battery life. But luckily, even though buried beneath a lot of settings, you can choose what type of notifications you want not Facebook to push on your mobile phone. And with just 2-3 minutes of just checking around, I think you'll definitely, like I do, disable most of them, and that way you'll save more battery life because the Facebook app will wake up the device less often. Another thing you should do is definitely disable autoplay for videos and videos in newsfeed to start with sound. This will save you again more battery life than you think, and the biggest thing that saves battery life is to never autoplay videos from your social newsfeed in Facebook. So if you really don't want this like I do, you can disable all of these things and have actually Facebook run very well without consuming battery life. And next up is the Messenger app, which is another battery hog like Facebook, but the thing that really actually draws battery life here is the animations of the chat heads. Now many of you I think, like myself included, really find those chat heads annoying, and disabling them really doesn't stop the app from giving you notifications, but you won't have the chat heads and you just have a message on top of your screen from the person and what they're saying, which for me in general is better than the chat heads, and it will save you a lot of battery life. Next up, we have Twitter, as well as all the other social apps. They have settings menus. Go to the notification settings and disable anything you really don't want the app to push, and this again will save you even more battery life, but will not limit you using those social apps, because you still get the content you need, but it will be more tailor-made for yourself. And of course, if you really want to save a lot of battery life with Facebook and Messenger, do install the light versions, but beware, they have limited functionality and they cannot autoplay videos from your newsfeed. And especially if you're running on an older Android device, this will help you like run Facebook and Messenger much smoother than before. And well, speaking about notifications, I really hate all those games and you know, all those promotions that you get from your shopping apps, constantly waking up the phone pushing notifications. Forget about that. Go into your notification settings, and definitely what I do is, especially for the games, disable all notifications so they don't wake up the phone unless you really want to put the game in there, and this will again save you even more battery life than you think. And after Facebook, which was for me the biggest battery hog of all time, and all those location settings, the next one is Google Chrome. That's right, the most popular browser out there, is really a good browser. I like it, I use it on my PC, but as a mobile browser where efficiency and battery life are very important, it's definitely not one of the best out there. And 3-4 months ago I decided, because 70% of my usage is browsing and Google Chrome was always on top of my battery draining app list, and I decided to try other alternatives, and that's how I came up to the Opera browser. I have used it before on my PC and was quite fond of it a few years back, so I decided, what the heck, I'll give it a go, and the results were actually more astounding than I think. I definitely get around 50-60% more battery life browsing with Opera than with Google Chrome, and the darn truth is, I really do like it more than Chrome browser. Maybe not on my PC, but on my phone, it's, I think, the better choice. There's other tools out there. I'm yet to check out Microsoft Edge, but I'll be doing so this month as well. So these are all my actual tips that I use to save more battery life, and this is how to get the best battery life out of any Android phone in 2017. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.
Stick around.